Welcome to Determined to Succeed. I'm your host, Dawn, also known as Unique Connector. So I'm so excited to have Meghann on the show today. So Meghann, I want to kick it off today with a question for you of what inspired you to really start the Dames, and what was your vision from the beginning to kick off the Dames?
Absolutely. I love that question. And picture this. You're at a networking event surrounded by brand new business owners, multi-level marketing people galore, insurance salespeople, everyone trying to sell you their stuff. And you're standing in the corner, backed up into the corner by someone who's picking your brains about your area of expertise. Mine at the time was social media marketing. That is why I started the Dames. I was constantly in that position, feeling like I had a target on my forehead or on my back, feeling like everybody wanted to pick my head for free because, you're the only person here who knows anything about how to market in social media. It's 2009. Here we are. You're here to give us free information, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. And that kind of feeling progressed, right? And I developed a lot of poor habits in relation to networking early on. I thought if I go to more events, it'll be better. I
Mhm.
thought the more business cards that I collect, the better. I thought that if I supported and bought everybody else's stuff, that they would buy mine. And I thought, man, this is a lot. Like, I'm networking 24/7. I'm either high on caffeine from drinking so much coffee, or I'm buzzed on so much wine because I feel uncomfortable here because it's just a sales pitch fest.
Yeah.
And also, as that progressed and as I had mounting stress from growing my marketing business, which I morphed into a marketing branding agency, I'm having mounting stress, and I'm at this six-figure level, and I'm trying to figure out what do I do? What are the great habits that I build? What are the practices that I need to have in order to get to seven figures? And I would look around and I'd see everybody else who looked like me or newer. So I saw all of these brand new business owners, again, a lot of multi-level marketing people, a lot of people in sales, and nobody who could help me get to where I was trying to go. And nobody that I could mastermind with to really understand what it takes to let go of and what I have to embrace in order to grow past that next threshold.
Mhm.
And also, on top of that, at most networking events, I was bored off my gourd. I could not, I had zero inspiration from it. I felt like I was drained every time I left, and I'm an extrovert. And so there was just a lot of factors that felt like they were stacked against me. So in 2014, I put myself in the Networking Witness Protection Program, and I was part of a mastermind group. And I said, I need to figure out a way to get high caliber women together in a place where they can enjoy being and where they can connect with like valued women who are at and above their level. And I don't see it anywhere here in Denver. What am I going to create? A
Mhm.
friend of mine in that mastermind had this very informal group that he was doing at the time called Denver Dudes. And he would just take his guy friends to different things and introduce them to new things like go-kart racing and trying on hats and random things like that. And I was like, how fun is that? I
Yeah.
want fun. So that was where the idea of Denver Dames came into my brain. And I started having events in May of 2015, and we had only women running 6 and 7 figure businesses at those events. We had a female comedian, and we had a woman who was a dame of influence. These are things that are still present in our events now. And we got proof of concept. People loved it. We started having more people at events, bigger events. We started, changing venues to be in bigger spaces. And it caught wind throughout Denver because women who were looking for a place where they didn't have to have the basic business conversations and where they could be entertained and in the reverse mullet approach that we have, where you come in, you laugh, you let your hair down, and that breaks down these barriers to be able to connect. And then you get inspired by women who are running their own 7-figure businesses, or women who are educating you in their expertise in business. And then you're able to connect easier because you've got that, like, oh, I feel inspired, and I feel like I've broken open from laughter. And you just see the room transform right before your very eyes at these events. So that was what we began as back in the day, and for a few years, until I sat down one day in meditation and I had this full-blown vision of, we need to be international. This is no longer a Denver thing. We have had, at that time, we'd probably had 25 successful events, and we were hundreds of women in Denver only. And that was when I envisioned this online membership site where people could connect and people could find each other in a directory, and they could have access to women around the world who are doing things either similar to them or completely differently from them. And we built that membership site in 2017. We launched other chapters in 2018. And we have had that global virtual membership ever since. And now we are on 6 continents with members all over the United States, all over the world. And we have 7 chapters in 7 local markets in the United States. And we continue to grow that way.
I love this. And this is where too, people probably have heard me talk about the Dames, and they maybe have attended my events, but listeners are always expanding. And so some of them don't even know that I'm a president chapter, chapter president. And so it's always fun too to kind of hear your vision and to kind of be almost behind the scenes in a way to bring the vision come to life. And this is the part for me where it's always been interesting about what you are doing, because I felt the same. I would go to all these events, I would be running around multiple nights a week and be exhausted. And it was just about being seen and profitability. And it was never always aligned with me. And I felt that once I heard about Dames, I joined and I was in it. And I came from a corporate lens too. And so I think it's been interesting to see my own involvement through this and my journey and taking the leap. And I think that's where women too, finding a space to feel comfortable, to be vulnerable, to talk about things, to collaborate. And that's what it's all about. And I think, we don't always have those spaces. So I'm glad that you started this, and it keeps evolving even more and more, I feel like, over the years. And I've learned a lot. So when you had this vision and now it's global, how are you keeping all these women together and to collaborate and to not, because one thing that I've had problems with in the future or even in my past was always competition with other females instead of collaboration. So what are you doing to really implement collaboration with the women?
Yes. So from the very beginning, one of the tenets that I learned, and while I was in the networking witness protection program, I didn't mention this, but I let go of all the ways that I had been networking. I said, this is unsustainable for me. I am, like you said, I'm burning out from it. This is not going to be something that I can scale. I can't duplicate myself and clone myself to put myself in all these rooms.
Yeah.
And what I witnessed was the early stages of power partnerships. And that's what we can talk about here. But it was really this concept of, initially, there are people with whom, they already work with your ideal clients. They already have trusted relationships with those people, and they are working with them in their area of expertise. And you are a potential collaborator of theirs. You're a potential power partner of theirs, because you are working in a field that is complementary to theirs. So let's use you as an example, right? So you were in the corporate world, you were in banking, and so you have all these relationships that you were a manager of. And there are people who also work with that same kind of target market, right? So let's say that you are specializing in high net worth individuals who have multiple properties in the Madison area. And they are, they're growing their families, they're getting more successful in their careers, etc. your power partners at that time would have been the mortgage brokers of the world, the realtors of the world, the insurance agents of the world, because they're all working, the payroll specialists, they're all working with those kinds of people. And maybe the career coaches of the world, the executive coaches, these are all people who have relationships with your target audience. So if you can work on and focus your networking on finding those power partners only and filling them up and helping them and serving them, and then asking for what it is that you need in your business, this is your new way of networking. No longer are you going out and trying to find your golden egg out at networking events, that one ideal client, but instead you're looking for your golden goose, the person who can help collaborate with you, and you can lay multiple golden eggs with each other. And as the philosophy has evolved and become far more established, it has helped entrepreneurs understand that it's not just about cross referrals and cross collaborate, like cross promotions. It's not just about I'll share your stuff and you'll share my stuff.
Yeah.
It's about we are helping each other grow our businesses, and we're helping each other grow as leaders in our lives and in our businesses. And so if I've already been through, for instance, if I'm a director in my role and I've already been through a merger and an acquisition in my company, I'm going to go and I'm going to help this other director who's in that position right now, because I have some key pieces of information that I really want her to know and that she would be totally evolving from. Or I'm a business owner and I'm at this place where I'm hiring my second employee, and man, did I make a lot of mess ups on the first one. So I'm going to go and I'm going to mastermind with and have some think tank discussions around not making those mistakes that I made last time, and what are the things that I should do this time as I'm going through this hiring process. Those power partnerships become your business besties, but they also become your advisory board. They become the people that are going to help you walk around those pitfalls, walk over the speed bumps without slamming into them and getting jarred. They're the people who are going to be excited for you when you say, holy cow, I just closed my first 5-figure contract, instead of, well, gosh, why are you sharing that information with me? That's braggadocious.
Yeah.
These are the people that you collaborate with, and you're each other's cheerleaders, and you're each other's you lift each other up, as opposed to trying to shut each other down. And that's because you have a shared mindset of abundance. And dames come from that space of knowing that there's plenty of business to go around. And when you come with that mindset intact and you say, look, I'm going to become really clear on who my ideal clients are and who I'm here to serve. And people who come to me that aren't that, if I'm an abundant business owner, I'm going to say, actually, this isn't my area of specialty, but you know what? I have a power partner. This is their area of specialty, and they are going to be perfect for you. And here's why. And now, yes, I didn't have that business, but that's because that's not what my business is. And that's not what my specialty is. And I'm actually doing them a disservice by taking them because they have a pulse, because they have blood running through their veins. I'm actually doing a disservice because I'm not the expert in that. But when I refer them to the person who is the expert in that, that serves that client tenfold, and it helps my power partner. And then it frees me up to be able to accept clients who are in my zone of genius. And this is what you learn as you grow your business from 6 to 7 figures. The more niched in you get, the more specialized you get, the better you get at your craft, the more processes you get, so that you can actually scale in a slim way, as opposed to, I just changed my contract for the 76th time to, make it fit this person's needs. But now I'm going way out of my area of my zone of genius, and it's going to take me 10 times longer to deliver this thing. So I'm going to make far less money. But people do that all the time because they think they have to. That's beginner mindset. So when you're in a community of your peers like the dames, you know these things. You know that that's not going to get me to run a 7-figure business by customizing everything for every single person. It's just not. So those are the ways that collaboration has evolved for me, from this very inception point of, oh, these are my referral partners, to they're my everything now. They're the
Mm.
people I go on hikes with. They're the people that I spend my free time with because their families and my family match. And I want to spend time with them because we have the same values. And I cross promote with them. I cross refer with them. I mastermind with them, everything. And I mean, not that everybody has to be all those things, because that's not usually what happens. They're usually a thought partner, or they're a business bestie, or they're someone I create offerings with because we both serve the same market and we just like bring each other in on deals that we do because we know that we can help that client a lot better with two of us. So these are just examples of how these power partnerships, notice we don't talk about referral partnerships, their power partnerships are so broad.
Yeah. I love that. And that's why I think, it really drew me in too, because a lot of the stuff that I was exposed to was competition instead of working together.
Right.
And I even remember one of the first times when I joined the Dames, you were introducing me to women that were doing similar things to me, but across the US or even local to me too. And I think that's the part of the abundance mindset and learning from each other and grasping hands together and keep pulling each other up instead of pushing each other down, which is a lot of the experience that I had in through the different industries that I've worked in with other females. And so for you, you're really involved even too in the community. Some people think, well, when you lead it and you start it, you kind of step back and you don't get involved as much, but you bring your expertise all the time to the think tanks, the different circles that we have, the roundtables and whatnot, and you are still in it. And I think that's what's the cool part about you leading the organization and still being in it and learning and growing, which not everybody always does. Kind of when someone starts a business too, that
Right.
kind of hands.
Yeah. And I have definitely shifted in what I'm involved in because as a CEO, I need to do that. I can't be involved in everything. So as you grow your business, you figure out the parts that you need to hire for first because they're not in your zone of genius and they take you way too long. And yes, you could save yourself money by doing it yourself, but that is not the way you grow a business. So,
Mhm.
we've grown from, it used to be just me and Kyle, my one admin assistant for many years, and we ran the show. And then I added Brianna, back in that was 2016. And then we added other admin support in like 2018. And then, then the pandemic, and we were running with a pretty good crew in the pandemic. I think there were 5 of us running the business. And then we added Anna, our ops director, in 2022. So it's, you continue to grow and you continue to add new members. But you and I both know 10x is easier than 2x.
Yeah.
I know that my unique contribution, they call it something different in 10x. Do you remember what it's called?
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I have the book right next to me. I could flip to
Yeah,
it. But
it's escaping me, but there's so many different, there's zone of genius, unique contribution, and whatever this other thing is that everybody who's listening is probably like, it's this, you
yeah,
girls.
I know.
But is that I'm here to perform. I'm here to create transformational experiences, and I am here to collaborate and teach people how to collaborate effectively. And so those are the things that I still do within the Dames. I'm here to help them transform their businesses through our mastermind think tank circles. I'm here to perform. So I perform on stage using sketch comedy characters. That's part of back to the beginning of the story of like, I don't want people to be bored at my events. So I'm going to teach through skits that help you learn about business, learn about how to grow personally through these different characters. And that lights me up. It's for sure my zone. And then I'm going to create these collaborative opportunities for people. And I'm going to teach them the best ways to collaborate because it's not natural. Dawn, I mean, before 2010, I was in a corporate job where I literally did not work in that job any longer after that was like 2014 because I had a woman who was on the rung above me kick me in the head and knock me off the rungs. Like I was in a world of you punch people in the elbows, with the elbows in the face and you knock them off the ladder.
Yeah,
There were not many positions at the top for women.
yeah.
And I decided at 6 years into corporate, that this is not for me. I'm not going to sit up here and fight you. That's not how I'm going to make this reality work for me. Went from being very disenchanted and pretty much an alcoholic because I'm like, I have to somehow get through this world, to finding entrepreneurialism by the universe putting it right in front of me and grasping at it and being like, not grasping, embracing it and being like, this is finally where I'm supposed to be. This is where, like, this is the right place for me. And having to unravel a lot of those mindset things that I had from the days of women are bitches, women are competition, women are here to tear me down, to witness something completely different, which was, wow, there's a lot of women out here who are super helpful. They're super collaborative. There's a lot of men out here who are too.
Yeah,
But
there
women have
is.
our own issues that we do well being able to be in a safe, vulnerable space with other women as we deal with these years of little and big traumas from other women and from men, and being in a safe space where we can really truly practice this stuff. And that's why we talk about, the growth of the entrepreneur, the growth of the business owner, and the growth of the director and higher in the dames is an inside job. We have to do the work ourselves in order for us to even have success with our business growth. If you only work on the business growth or the leadership growth, you will hit a ceiling a
Oh,
lot faster than you would if you do the growth work from the inside and having the professional growth work as well. You will always hit your limit of your bubble and you will burst if you're not doing personal and professional growth at the same time. So
well, I love that. And
there's my soap stand.
no, I love that. And that's the part too, where, you can even hear it from too, how you evolved and you brought other women along with you. I just even think of when you expanded it past Denver,
Yes.
you're talking about your zone and you are hilarious and have that, skit mentality and you're able to do that. Me, that's not my zone of genius. But
And
for
it's
some
not
reason though
supposed to be.
too, you saw things in each chapter president as different things to help fuel certain areas. And that's, I think, the other part too, for me, even having that opportunity to step up and lead and bring women along with me when I didn't have that opportunity before, but then also to realize different leadership skills I had in myself that I didn't even know.
Exactly.
And that's the part for me where I'm always like how you even said too, you weren't looking for the ideal person of Meghann
Mm-mm.
to lead all the chapters. And
Mm-mm.
that's the part I think for other people, the listeners, to think differently when you're growing the business, growing whatever organization or something that you're leading, is to
Yeah.
think different and not have the cookie cutter.
Right. And here's the thing, like I had to go through that cookie cutter time when I was leading my marketing business, and I got it to this point where I was like, okay, my capacity is 12 one-on-one clients at any given time to take them through my system. And that gives me a 6-figure business. But if I want to go to 7 figures, I'm going to need to bring other people in and train them in my methodology. Basically, I'm going to need to clone myself. I tried cloning myself. It was very difficult for me. It was not a fit for me. I thought that I was broken. I thought that I was wrong. I thought that I was a failure in business. I realized that I was just in the wrong business model for myself. Entirely wrong. I was not going to be able to clone myself. I wasn't systematic enough in my marketing coaching and consulting. I was such a creative and I did everything through downloads and yes, marketing knowledge as well, because I had all the education in that and my first, years in corporate and my years in business, but it was not like it was burning me out left, right, and center. So once I embraced that I have this quote unquote side hustle that's doing really well and it's lighting me the heck up. And I let go of having to keep my marketing business and run the dames. I went from having a business that took me 6 years to scale to 6 figures to having one there in 18 months.
Mm.
Because I let go of the belief that I had to do it I had to grow this business. I don't care if it's hard. I'm going to just keep doing it because I feel this need to help these women. But what I realized was when I sat down and really like let myself get clear with what I wanted and what I was here to create, it had nothing to do with one-on-one. It had to do with mass exposure to mass amounts of people. And I wasn't going to be able to do that through my marketing business. And it was never, marketing never brought me the amount of joy that collaboration and community and helping millions of women grow their businesses and grow past their limits in a way that we can support each other and help one another. Like, it never inspired me the way that this business does, not even close. So I had to let go of like there being any one way of doing it for anyone, and really helping women become more aware of what's inside of them and what their intuition is telling them. Because if I hadn't shut my mind up and listened to my intuition and what really drives me, my heart and my gut, I would have never known. I would have just kept pushing through with my hard-headedness and that warrior approach, that hustle, that grind. And that's another core tenet of the Dames is like, if you're ever feeling like you're hustling, grinding, pushing like all the time, it's fine that we go through periods where we have to do that. That's going to be normal. But if you're feeling like that all the time, chances are very high that you're not on your best trajectory for you, for your own energy, for your own skills, for your own strengths, for your own natural way of doing things. That's a sign of like burnout, and approaching burnout and overwhelm are a sign of this isn't going right. So when you can be in a community with other women who are recognizing that in you and saying, hey, I have an observation. Please don't take this as offense, but like, you're showing up on this think tank circle and you keep grinding on this area. Have you ever thought of looking at this as at a totally different angle? Like, in my experience, I've done this. And like that shift that I get to witness in women on a weekly basis is a beautiful thing. And then being able to say, okay, how can I have other women help me carry this vision out in their local chapters, in their own unique language, in their own unique way? And watching you lead and watching you and how you lead a room and how people follow you, and having this faith in you from day one when I saw you up in front of a room and I saw you in front of a room full of people saying, she does this in a very different way and it's so freaking beautiful. And she's going to lead people in her own, like, you have this like powerful, quiet energy that just creates a space of invitation for people and opens doors in a way that they're like, oh, thank God somebody invited me to walk through these doors, because I need to feel special and I need to feel like I can do this. And not everybody is like we need a cheerleader making us laugh. Just like, Whitney has a personality that's a bit more like me, where we're just loud and boisterous, and that's great. But like you and Hannah and, other chapter presidents, Carrie Ann's a little bit of a hybrid, but you all have these different characteristics, and you also have different cultures of your chapters. And we have this global vision where you're not just part of your local chapter like everybody else's organization. You're not just, here's us 25 women in Madison. You're part of this global community of women that you can call upon and that call upon you. And you can say, oh my gosh, did you hear about the way that so-and-so in England just did her launch for her program? It's amazing. I can't wait to try that here in my local area, because that's so much more my energy than doing it this way that was, written in a book by some white-haired dude. So.
Well, I'm just so proud of you for pivoting. And I think that's the other inspiring thing too, is other women need to recognize, like, sometimes you can do what's in your zone, but there's also this thing, that little whisper that's telling you something. You got to listen to it sometimes. And so proud of you for taking the brave, courageous move to really leaning into the Dames, because that's inspiring, and leading other women to do the same. And life is too short. So we all got to make those choices. And I really appreciate you, even entrusting me to lead the dames here. And I think that's been the fun part for me of learning more about myself
Mhm.
and evolving and changing. And so I just appreciate you joining the show. And I hope our listeners got even more of a new perspective on the dames. And, this is the part for me where keep shining bright, Meghann, because you are making big ripples around the world. So I appreciate you so much. And we need more women leaders like this to stand up and to take charge and to make a difference out there. So I thank you very much.
And I would like to echo the thanks back to you for trusting me and for even when you were like, I don't know that I can do this. And me being like, oh, yes, you can. Because I saw it in you from the very beginning, and you trusting yourself. Also, you've made huge shifts in your life, and you have put yourself first in that. You have really done it in the way that you are listening. You are listening to your own knowing, you are listening to your own intuition, and you're listening to the things that we teach in the dames of like if you don't prioritize yourself and your family and the things that you value, nobody else can do it for you. And
Mm-hmm.
you listen to those things and you take them for yourself and you put your own unique connector spin on it. And that's what it takes. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
takes to lead a business that's full of joy and that's full of abundance in every way, shape, or form that you want it.
Mm. Well, I thank you very much because it's been a journey and I'm proud I took the journey and it's life lessons all the time. So I appreciate you being in my corner and always being there. So thank you
And I
for
hope our listeners who are listening to this do the same. I hope that you listen to what it is that you know deep inside you are creating for yourself and you want to create for yourself. And if there's anything that's showing up on the outside that doesn't look like you want it to look, you are the person who gets to make the choice to make that different. And
Mhm.
I recommend starting from looking inside and saying, okay, what is the shift that I can make in myself so that it shows up differently externally on the outside? It all
Mhm.
starts with you. And that's a beautiful thing.
Very beautiful thing. Well, thank you for your words of wisdom. I appreciate you very much.
You too. Thanks for this. It was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.